Yes, God, yes, God, yes, God. Happy Saturday. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me, hear me, hear me? Hey, family, what's going on? Happy Saturday. Hey, good morning. I am that I am, Yahweh Most High of the Universe, Yahweh Day, January 31st, 2026. Yes, God. Yes, God. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Good morning. Yes. Hey, Instagram. Hey, TikTok family. Everybody can hear me, right? Okay, perfect. Yes, God. Yes, God. Yes, God. Yes, God. Yes, God. Diving day to all of you. Divine day to you all. Yes, God. So today I want to chat a little bit about identity recalibration and what that actually means and why it's important. And then I also want to chat a little bit about Bali because we had a whole bunch of people take advantage of the early bird pricing yesterday. And I'm so excited. And I just want to share a little bit more details about all the things that we're getting into there. And thank you for clicking that live, tap that love button. And yes, God. So I want to talk about identity recalibration. And first of all, I want to talk about identity in general and kind of why it's so important. Because when you are in this world of recognizing that you are powerful, recognizing that you have God within you, recognizing that life is something that we are actually co-creating with. It's not something that's just happening to us. And, some people say manifestation, some people say, there's different labels for this, right? But it's actually, to me, it's the acknowledgement that life is not just happening. We have an influence over the way that things are playing out in our lives, right? And we see that with things such as coincidences, or, we might call it divine timing, where we notice these correlations between what it is that we're seeking or what it is that we're desiring. And then there happens to be a way for that thing to come to pass that seems completely random. And so I want to talk about how that's not random at all. It's actually, we are designed this way. God has given us this gift of being able to have agency and have authority over our life and over our circumstances. Good morning. Happy Saturday, TikTok family. Thank you for tapping that live. I appreciate you. I love you too. Yes, God. And yes, God. So I want to talk about identity, right? Identity, when I look up the definition, it says the condition of being a certain person or thing. Okay? So the condition of being, not what we're doing, but who we are being. All right? Because this outside world, capitalism, imperialism, patriarchy, right? All of these systems will try to convince us that who we are is based on what we do, okay? And how important we are or how valuable we are or how worthy we are is tied to our actions, all right? And that is not true. Those things are already done, okay? Through the grace of God, we are already worthy, we are already whole, we are already enough, we are already perfect, regardless of what we do or don't do. Now, when we start to take inspired action, okay, we can move deeper in that purpose and discover more and more and expand more and more and more into our divine assignment, okay? But the worthiness, the being of value, being whole, that's already done, okay? Just by the fact that you exist, you are already whole, you are already worthy, you are already perfect. Regardless of what traumas you've been through, regardless of what disability you have, regardless of what number is or is not in your bank account, is or is not as your credit score, all of these made up things and constructs that try to categorize us into a definition of our identity. Yes, baby doll.
Mommy, is it like a match?
Yes, it's a match. He's putting together another desk for Mama.
There's another one and another one.
It's the exact same desk. He's putting it together. Thank you for realizing that. I'm here and I'm listening. Yes, God, you have changed my prayer life. Thank you so much. God, continue blessing. God's continued blessing be yours. Thank you.
It's like a match.
It is a match. Wow.
If you get there's 1,
2, 3, 4. Yes. Thank you for showing me that, Juju.
And there's 1, 2, 3.
Okay, let mommy talk to her friends, please. That's an up arrow and a down arrow. Good job. Give me 5. Excellent. Okay. Yes, God. All right. So, thank you for saying that about your prayer life. I love that. I love that. Yes, because thank you for continuing to tap the live too. Religion, right, has a lot of religions. I don't want to just group, generalize, but a lot of religions have taught us and programmed us and conditioned us to believe that we have to earn, right? We have to beg, we have to earn, we have to do a certain thing in a certain way. And if we don't do it that way, then that means that we are not worthy of blessings. We are not worthy of having our desires met. We are not worthy of things, right? And all of that is nonsense. That is the good news. If you actually read the Bible from a states of consciousness perspective versus the oppressive King James perspective, you would see that the gospel is the good news. The gospel is the fact that we already have everything we need us, that I and my Father are one. Exactly. We exist for free. All of the things that we need to be successful have already been given to us through grace, okay? We all have lungs that are working right now. We all have an inhale and an exhale that we are not having to earn. We did not have to earn or buy the trees outside that are giving us oxygen. We did not have to earn or buy the blood that is flowing through our veins that is keeping us alive, okay? So when you really use critical thinking, you start to separate away from this program that tries to put these boxes and these restrictions around value, around wholeness, around worthiness, okay? We were created as already whole, as already worthy, as already perfect. And this life is to be lived to experience expansion. Okay. And so the mind will often try to come and pull us out of that expansion because of fear, but we have to be willing to lean in and be courageous and understand that we absolutely have a divine purpose here, and we absolutely have to be willing to move toward that purpose regardless of how other people perceive us. Exactly. God is the source of all of our supply, whether it's coming through this job, this opportunity, that person, okay? We are already receiving the love, the abundance, okay, the peace. Sometimes the channel is different. Sometimes the channel changes, right? Sometimes the person who you thought you were going to be with forever, it doesn't last forever. That does not mean you're cut off from love. That does not mean that you're cut off from worthiness or wholeness. It just means that the channel is shifting and you are being open to a new infinite possibility, because there are infinite ways. There are so many ways that the mind cannot even conceive of, okay? So when we can let go of trying to be in control, because the thing about the ego mind is that it doesn't want to move forward unless it knows the how. All right. And the how is typically none of our business. When we think we have to know the how, we are severely limiting ourselves. We are severely boxing ourselves in. All right. That is the definition of limiting beliefs. All right. You exist for free. Yes, you exist for time does not exist. I'm qualified through God. You don't got to work. Exactly. So when people say you don't have to work, the Armor of God audiobook is amazing and explains this so aligned. Yes, God. I have to look that up. The Armor of God. Let me make a note of that, because I love new books and I love just filling my consciousness with all the things. What happened, sweetie pie? Oh my goodness. I got to blow your nose. Come here. Come on. Blow. Wow. Does that feel better?
Yeah, I find it.
Get out of here. Go. We got a comedian on our hands, y'all. So yes, God, when I'm working with others, I need to see the how. That's a limiting belief. That is a limiting belief. Now, I get in certain circumstances you could want to have a blueprint, but for me, it's always this or better. Even if I know the how is always subject to change. All right. It's always subject to change. when I'm saying this right now, I'm thinking of yoni steaming and how I was brought to yoni steaming, and it was really a way for me to begin to connect with the God within me. Now, I didn't realize it at the time because I thought that I was doing it to heal my body postpartum, right? I was doing it from a physical aspect, but many times we go to something for one particular intention, and then God reveals all these other aspects that are available to us through that thing, right? Through being open to trying something new, through being open to being curious, through being open to considering that, hey, you know what, this is not standard. This is not what I've normally done in the past, but I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see maybe if there's something here for me. And through that curiosity, right, that's why it says in the Bible to be like a child, right? Because children are very curious. They're very curious. And also children are very clear about their boundaries, right? A child is going to tell you, I want this. I don't like that. Okay, and we tend to lose that as we get older, and all of these kind of ego mind limitations begin to project themselves onto us, and we begin to start tiptoeing around what we think is acceptable, what we think is respectable, what we think, or the image that we think we should have. So how do I move past that? Because it's getting in the way of moving in certain partnerships. Mika, can you describe getting past what specifically? Go ask for help with that, please.
I can do it.
Goodness, goddess, what's your limit? There is no limit on God. Exactly. There is no limit on God. But the ego and the mind will try to limit God if we allow the ego and the mind to think that it's the leader, right? So a lot of people demonize the ego and they demonize the mind, and you got to have an ego death. And I have a different perspective on that. I think the mind is a beautiful gift that we have been given. I think we need the ego to experience this life and have these kind of different experiences throughout our lives. However, the issue starts to happen when we believe that the mind is supposed to be the leader, okay? The mind is not the leader. The mind is someone said yesterday, the mind is a lousy master, but an excellent servant. Okay. And so being able to program and train the mind to be a servant and not try to be the master, because when we allow the mind to try to be the master and orchestrate everything, that's when we begin to experience suffering. We begin to experience limitations, and we begin to experience that contrast, okay? The mind is never designed to lead. It's only designed to follow, all right? But in order to get the mind in a followership position, we must first understand who is the leader, right? The leader is God, and God is within us, all right? And God is within everything. And so there are plenty of people who are inside of their traditional religions, and they are finding God there, okay? So this is not to say anything against religion. It's just to say that God is everywhere. And so you don't necessarily need an intercessor to connect with God, because God lives right within you. We need love, compassion, and grace for the mind and heart. Exactly. Yes, God. Yes, God. Yes, God. Playfulness is helpful for embodiment. Exactly. Yes, 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 yes. And so exactly, the oneness. And so the oneness with God, and also the oneness with others, right? Because we are all together one consciousness. We are all part of one huge living collective organism together. Okay? Yes, God. And so I wanted to talk about basically all that to say to getting back to identity, right? So identity is the condition of being a certain person or thing, right? So it's not doing, it's not based on what we've done. It's not based on what we've experienced. It's based on who we are being. And who we are being shifts from moment to moment, right? And so when we think about who am I being, right? Who I'm being is not dependent on what anybody else thinks of me. It's not dependent on how anybody else perceives me. It's only dependent on how I am perceiving myself, all right? And this is what my work is centered around. What is my identity to me? I don't want to know, the accolades, the titles, the degrees, the accomplishments. Okay, all of those things are experiences, right? All of those things are experiences. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm a brother, I'm a husband. Those are all titles. Those are all experiences. Okay. But they are not identities. There is only one true identity that we hold. Okay. One true identity. But the mind will try to convince us that all of those other things equate to our identity. All right. And so that limits us, because essentially God is saying yes to whatever we're giving our attention to. If we are saying, hey, nothing ever works out for me, it's always going to be hard, I hate doing this thing, I got to get up and go to this horrible job, right? God is saying yes. But when we're also saying, I love what I do, everything is working itself out. Good things are coming my way, even if I don't know how. People love what I have to offer. People are eager and excited to invest in the things that I'm doing, right? Either way that you're thinking about yourself and your identity, God is saying yes to that. So this is why it's so important to understand that you are co-creating with God at all times. All right? We are always co-creating with God. And even in scripture, it tells us to have the authority to walk up to the mountain. You don't beg and plead and wish and hope for the mountain to move. You command. Okay, we are commanding life through what it is that we are giving our energy and our attention to. And the root of that starts with our identity. Okay, so we're not starting to command as this unworthy, unvaluable person. We are starting to command as one with God, because if I'm one with God, that means I am good, very good, and there is no ungood in me. Okay. And we have to have the courage to begin to perceive ourselves this way, because again, there's been a lot of programming. There's been a lot of, repetition about thoughts that our identity is tied to things externally. Our identity is tied to things outside of us. It's tied to our appearance. It's tied to our relationship status. It's tied to, yes, sweetie pie.
She want my candy, but I ate it all.
Okay, well that means it's all gone then.
But Jenny want my candy.
It's okay. Maybe we'll get some more later, okay?
We're at the store.
Okay, maybe later, but can I finish talking to my friends?
Yes, and Mom, you get too.
Thank you. Go put that in the garbage, please. I feel that and see that in how you co-create with God is beautiful. Yes, God. Yes, God. Thank you for whoever is continuing to tap this screen in Instagram. I'm used to TikTok being the tappers, tap, tap, tappers. But today, Instagram is tapping, and I'm super excited about it. Thank you so much. So identity recalibration, right? So my work is centered around remembering who and whose we are. Okay, moving away from the perspective and the perception that we have to earn worthiness, that we have to earn wholeness, that we have to earn enoughness.
Why do you have to?
I need you to go back and with your brother and sister, please. Mommy's having...
Why do you have to?
I have two because I'm talking to my friends on Instagram and I'm talking to my friends on TikTok.
Or you TikTok.
Okay, so go back in with your brother and sister. Mommy's almost done, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Done, and you get 1 minute.
And yes, God, hey, Ease. Yes, yes, yes. So what happens, because we have been programmed and pretty much trained, most of us, right? Because think about it. Think about the lives that we live, right? We were with our parents or our caretakers at first, and whatever kind of things that they've imposed on us about our identity, right? That could be wonderful. That could be not so wonderful. And then we go to school, and then we are imposed based on our grades, right? Based on our tests. So we are started very, very early in life being given these boxes and these measurements about, did I do good or did I do bad? Am I smart or am I not smart? Am I capable or am I not capable? All right. So we have all of these things in our society that begin to train us to believe that our worth and our value is tied to an external measure. Okay. Even when you have a job in corporate America, you have performance evaluations and you have this, and now the concept of money comes in, and okay, if I don't have this money, that means I'm not successful. That means I'm not worthy. And so we have all of these things, right, that try to tell us who we are. They try to convince us that once we do this thing, or once we achieve this particular number or score or weight Or, and you notice that it's pretty much all tied around numbers. A lot of it is tied around numbers, you know, whether it's a weight, whether it's an income, whether it's something, it's typically tied to a number. Okay. And the bottom line is that, again, we are already perfect, whole, worthy, and complete as is because we are one with God. I want to make sure I have my notes up so I can touch on what I wanted to touch on. Because I always hold on, I'm going to move you just for 1 second so I can make sure my notes app is, where is it at? I'm a person that makes notes of every single thing in my life whenever I have an idea. I'm like, oh, let me put that in my notes app. Okay. So what I wanted to mention, okay, so I also wanted to mention this thing. Yes, everything is numbers. I thank you for your wisdom and knowledge. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. So I want to talk about something called the reticular activating system for a moment, okay? And how that, oh, there's a red cardinal right there outside, y'all. What does a red cardinal mean? I don't even want to, I want to tell my children that it's out there so they can look, but I also don't want them to rush in here right now. But there's a red cardinal right there, like eating some stuff off the ground. Anyways, I am a single mother and I'm searching for love. You are a single mother and you are love. Okay, you can take the single mother part off. You are love, period. Single or non-single, it doesn't have any bearing on who's and who you are. Okay, elders are with you. Yes, God. Yes, God. Yes, God. So reticular activating system, right? That is a function of our brain. And first of all, look at God. Have y'all seen the human anatomy? Do you understand how meticulous and like, we actually have the audacity to try and think we need to know how, and we're talking about a creator that has created this body. Are you kidding me right now? But there's a reticular activating system that we have, right? And it is a filter for us. So when we can utilize that in a way where we are tuning that filter to see the good, we start to see more good. And I'm reminded of last night, I was going through and kind of clearing out my the closet in my bathroom, and I have a whole section dedicated to hair and my daughter's hair and little beads and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I want to sort these beads out. So we dumped all the beads in. She helped me and we went and like separated them out. So here's the gold beads, here's the black ones, here's the clear ones, here's the this ones. And what I noticed was it was a lot easier to, instead of like just going through one by one and being like, oh, this is this color. Oh, this is that color. Oh, this is that color. When I was like, okay, I'm looking for all the gold beads, right? When I actually set my intention first, I need to find all the gold beads because I want to put the gold beads in this thing. As I was scanning, all the gold beads were popping out to me, okay? Versus looking at all the beads and just going by what I picked. Oh, this is green. Let me put it here. Oh, this is that. Okay, I'm looking for all the gold. Okay, all the gold are popping out. I'm looking for the green beads. All the greens popping out. So I make that correlation to say it's a metaphor for life. Whatever we are looking for, we are finding. Whatever we are looking for, we are finding. So are we looking for things to fail? Are we looking for things to not work out? Are we looking for the love, which actually translates to, I feel that I have a lack of love. So it's very important to understand the energy behind what it is that we are seeking, right? Are we seeking things because we believe that they are going to complete us and make us whole and make us worthy? Or are we seeking things because we want to experience them? Right? From a place of wholeness already, from a place of worthiness already. Those are two very different source points. So I want us all to remember that nothing that we can achieve outside of us is going to make us more fulfilled or more whole or more worthy. That is an inside job. Nothing can give that to you. Money cannot give that to you. A relationship with another person cannot give that to you. That is something that you must give to yourself. You must. Because the thing is if you don't give it to yourself, even when you get the money or when you get the relationship or when you get the external thing, you are still not going to be satisfied. because you still have not identified with the person who is already whole, worthy, and enough. Are you saving this? I have to leave in a second. Yes, I am. You can definitely, it'll live on my Instagram page, but also I am now taking all of these lives and moving them over to, I'm moving them over to my YouTube channel. So Yes God Wellness on YouTube is where they live. So you can check them all out there. How do I do emojis? How to know what we are seeking, even if it's subconsciously. So it's through awareness, right? So through awareness, through being willing to sit with yourself and be still. You're so welcome. Being willing to sit with yourself, being willing to be still, being willing to ask yourself the question, okay, are you getting on? Where you at? No, I thought we was going live. Are you willing to ask yourself the question, who am I? Who do I believe myself to be? What am I here to do? So instead of trying to figure out, let me read this question again. How to know what we are seeking. Sometimes we may not, hey, Brittany, hey, girl. Yes, God. We have one of our Quantum Prayer Circle members here. When you are, sorry, I'm having 3 different conversations right now. Sorry, guys. How to know what we are seeking, even if it's subconsciously. So, yes. Okay. So my girlfriend Diana is coming on. She is hosting the Bali retreat with me. We can continue this conversation, but we're going to switch over and talk a little bit about Bali, because Bali is actually the identity recalibration retreat that we are doing. Let me let her come up. Yes, God. So we don't have to figure things out. We just have to be open to things being revealed to us. Hey, girl.
Right.
What's going on?
Everything under the sun.
Yeah. Yes, God.
Love it over here.
So this is my sister-in-law, Diana. She is my baby's auntie. Thank you, baby. I need you not to be in this camera right now. Go in there with your brother and sister.
I want to see Auntie Diane.
I know, but right now we're trying to have a conversation with our friends. Okay? We can talk to her in a little bit by ourselves, okay? Okay, thank you. Thank you for being a good listener. Thank you, Justice. Can I pray for you? I definitely can. You can send me a DM. Right now we're talking about Bali. And also I have tons of prayers on my YouTube channel and my Instagram. So some of those you might find helpful for you. So I did want to switch over and just have a conversation about Bali, because the early bird tickets did go on sale yesterday. And we have been so excited, just planning and talking about kind of the itinerary on the retreat, and the fact that, actually, you know what? Let me be quiet. Let me let you introduce yourself, Diana, and then we can go from there.
Hello, Yes God family. I'm Diana, aka Naughty Styler. I am a yoga teacher, a hairstylist, and I like to focus on taking the beauty from within and bringing it out.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So, we are going to have a great time in Bali recalibrating our identities, literally remembering who we are and being just that. Not because we have to crunch these numbers to earn it, but because we're not human doings, we're human beings.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. Yes. We are human. We are an extension of God in human form.
That part.
Yes. And we all are here having this human experience. And also we are here on divine assignment with divine purposes. And so those purposes may change and do change throughout our lives, even from day to day. I mentioned that yesterday. Like, exactly, there's no disconnection from us and God. So in this particular aspect of life, we may have a purpose to be this type of person. In that aspect, we may have a purpose to help people and support people in that way. Sometimes our purpose is to cause contrast. Sometimes our purpose is to be the problem. There's a lot of times, and see, this is why, religion and other kind of systems try to guilt and shame us about, mistakes that we've made or wrong choices that we've made. And a lot of times those things are the very things that were catalysts for growth for ourselves and for the people that we were involved with, right? Because I think it's all of us can say the most transformative things in our life typically came from pain. Right? Typically it had happened because something hurt us, something harmed us, something happened to us. And then we were like, oh my God, this now is my springboard. This is the catalyst that I didn't want, that I would rather have not experienced. But since I have experienced it, now I am forced to go into this other direction with my life, right? Someone on TikTok said the awakening. Exactly. The awakening. Yes.
Megan, have you seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No, but I like the sounds of it.
So it's amazing, first of all. You got to pay to see it, but
Okay.
Go with it.
Okay.
There's pieces of the movie where they have to get their energy from a different dimension, and the only way they're able to get it is through doing something hella uncomfortable. Isn't that real life?
Yes, exactly. That is exactly real life. Yes. And because I mentioned this the other morning, there's so many times when the things that we are being nudged to do from God are not things that we prefer to do. Like you know what I'm saying? It's not always like, oh, I got a divine intuition, I'm so excited to do it. Sometimes it's like, oh, that sounds scary. That sounds like something that I might not necessarily enjoy. That sounds like something that may, like you said, make me uncomfortable, push me past my comfort zone. Yes, God. So yes, God, thank you for continuing to tap the live, y'all. So we want to quickly talk about our identity recalibration retreat, because we are going to be facilitating this work in real time in Bali, which is going to be amazing. And we are just looking at the itinerary. We have so many amazing things planned. I just posted a video about it, but we're going to be doing a Jamu herbal medicine making class, where we are going to be out in the gardens, learning about the plants, learning about the herbs, and putting them all together the Balinese way. We are going to be doing a Balinese offerings workshop, which when I read a little bit more, it looks like we're going to be doing offerings. Actually, I think that's separate. So we're going to do a Balinese offering workshop, and then for the water purification ceremony that's happening, like there's some waterfalls involved. They also have offerings that we offer because they view water as very holy and very divine, which of course it is, because we're like 70% water, right? I think. And then we have sound healing sessions. We're going to be in the rice terraces. We're going to be doing a healing encounter. Diana's going to be facilitating. I'll let you tell them what you're facilitating in the mornings.
So starting September, we will be doing 3 days a week, morning wake, shake, and meditate. Like, get up and get your power hour on. We can do it 3 days a week together, but bonus if you do it even more for yourself. You're getting up and declaring who you are, figuring out what you need to download in order to get there, and maybe a little movement.
Absolutely.
Help us get on our way.
Yeah. Because a lot of nervous system work, right? And we were talking about that yesterday, how we want to do these workshops. The nervous system is not just like this hoity-toity pie in the sky concept. It is a physical connection of nerves that run through our body. And so a lot of time nervous system regulation needs to happen through movement. And like you said, through shaking the body, through stretching the body, through dancing, through playing, through having fun. Yes. Thank you, baby, for being such a good listener and letting mommy finish her conversation.
You said like the witch.
It's looking just the same. So right now, my son is putting together another desk like the one I'm on. So she is going back and forth looking at all the comparisons and how everything's the same. But she also wants to be in the spotlight. And if you're not going to see her, you're going to hear her. Okay? That's what you are going to do. You're going to hear her. But thank you, Queenpreneur. It is amazing. Right now, we still do have some slots left at the early bird pricing. You only have to put 25% down, and then you can make payments interest-free for the remainder all the way up until August. So that's February, March, April, May, June, July, August. 6 months. You have 6 months to make payments interest-free. So highly recommend, if this is something that you're interested, go ahead and get in now on the early bird slots, because you're saving over $500 on the retreat itself. So it's going to be incredible. If you want more information, the details of the entire itinerary, you can go ahead and check out the link in either mine or Diana's bio. Go ahead and follow Diana. She's amazing as well. Thank you, baby. Mommy will do this later. I'm almost done, okay?
I'm gonna do it.
Okay. You cannot have this knife and do that, Justice. I just can't let you do that, okay? Mommy's going to do that with you.
How do you get a knife?
I'll do it with you in a moment, okay?
Wait, this isn't mine. Let's scissors.
Okay. So yes, God. So anyways, just to circle back around before we close out, identity, right, is, again, the definition that we looked up was the condition of being a certain person or thing. So really getting clear on who it is that you are, not depending on outside circumstances to tell you who you are, not depending on connections to other people to tell you who you are, not depending on numbers to tell you who you are, whether it be weight, whether it be a number in the bank account, whether it be, a number on the scale, whatever it is. Like, numbers have a tendency to internalize numbers and make them mean something about ourselves. And so it's so important to know that, because we think that, okay, once these things happen, then I'll feel this way. But does it make sense if you use your critical thinking? If you're coming from something that's not enough or not worthy yet until this thing happens, how is that going to equate with worthiness later on? Right? Since when does bad equate to good? It doesn't work like that. You have to come good already. You have to know that you are already worthy, already whole. This thing is just going to give me a different experience, right? It's just going to allow me to experience something different. It doesn't mean it's going to make me better. It doesn't mean it's going to make me worse. It just means it's a different experience. Yes, it's the meaning we give to things. Exactly. How can we remain still in chaos without feeling the need to control the outcome? Surrendering. It's called surrendering. It's called allowing yourself to surrender and trust. And that's the thing. Like, if you want to live a God-led life, a life of divinity, a life of abundance, internal abundance, which in turn begins to manifest in outward abundance, you have to be willing to surrender. You have to be willing to say, I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't need to know how this is going to happen, but I trust that it is happening because I'm already whole, worthy, perfect, and complete, and I'm already one with God.
And you have to surround yourself with that information. You have to seriously indoctrinate yourself, knowing that that's the direction you want to go in. Yeah. So with that practice, maybe I'm reading a lot more. Maybe I'm in community with people who are talking about that. Maybe I go and listen to Yes God Wellness on YouTube, because that's the message she's sending to me.
Yes.
Maybe I take it and parallel it with how I work out, how I go and show up even when I don't want to, and practice, do hard shit, take the pauses I'm supposed to, and surrender to what it is that I want out of life, then like I reap the benefits from it.
Yes. And maybe you join the Quantum Prayer Circle. This is what we're doing inside of my school community. We literally meet every single day live in there at noon. We have our Zoom coming up, and this is where we begin to. So the other thing too, thank you for saying that, Diana. We have to begin to, again, the first step in any transformation or change is awareness. Exactly. Surrender is not necessarily mean giving up. Surrendering is not giving up at all. Surrendering is giving up having to know how. Surrendering means I'm not going to continue to mind God's business and think that I know better than God. I am going to allow God to show me all of the infinite ways in which the outcomes that I desire can come to me. I'm not going to pigeon and project my limitations onto God. But it's also about making sure that you are being aware of all of the messaging that you're receiving from the content you're taking in, whether it's the conversations you're having, whether it's the music you're listening to, whether it's the content that's on your algorithm, whether it's the movies, the music, all of that. You have to be sure that you are taking distractions out of the equation that are giving you a message of, you know, this ego-led type of thing, this violence-led thing. You know, I gotta be this, I gotta do that, I gotta, you know, all of these messages and this music and these implications, right, that you have to be in control. You really have to be mindful, and it takes courage, and it takes a lot of awareness to pay attention and say, you know what? That stuff that I'm watching on YouTube or that music that I'm listening to is not it. This is not in alignment with the life that I want to live. This is not in alignment with the things that I want to experience. This is not in alignment with the ways that I want to feel. Love you so much too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for continuing to tap TikTok family. And so being aware first, being mindful first, and then begin to subtract. The answer is typically always subtraction. It's not to add more, it's to subtract. So what are the things that are happening? What am I consuming that I would do better without consuming? Okay? Because you never lose by subtracting. You only get more clear and you only get more focused. So when you can start to remove things that are distracting you away from your wholeness, you are in such a better position to surrender now, because you don't have all this noise and all these messages telling you what things mean about you. Okay? Because social media is a big one. Yes, social media is a big one. And if you are going to utilize social media, like I made a commitment to myself several years ago that if I'm going to be on social media, I am going to be creating a lot more than I'm consuming. I'm not here just to consume, and be subject to what other people are talking about and other people are doing. I'm going to be here to create. And if I'm not creating, I'm going to get off and I'm going to spend my time sitting still and being quiet so that I can begin to separate myself from my ego mind and understand that my thoughts are not me. I don't have to believe every thought that flashes through my mind. I need to start being a filter through my awareness of, is this actually serving me? Is this belief serving me? Because a belief is nothing more than a repetitive thought. Diana, I know you have a lot going on. You can feel free to stay on. If you want to jump off too, that's fine. I'm going to spend a little bit more time with everybody. You opened it by yourself. Wow.
Yes, I do have to make a move. I'm going to still listen.
Okay.
But
thank you, sis. I love you. Thank you for hopping on.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So yes, God. And yes, so being willing to be still and know that you are not one with your thoughts. All right. Because the thoughts have the thoughts are controlling. Thoughts are controlling. Thoughts want to project fear onto us. Thank you so much for opening this for me. Let's see what herbs came today. We got our dandelion and our red clover. We've had an influx of orders for yoni steams, so I had to place another order for herbs. I know, baby. Can you go? I don't want them over here. I want you to keep them over there because Mommy has them over there for a reason, okay?
Okay.
Yoni steaming is another beautiful way to regulate your nervous system and to connect with the God within you as well as getting rid of fibroids, releasing trauma, releasing soul ties, healing, helping with BV and chronic, all types of stuff. If you want to go and check out the benefits of yoni steaming and how many women have been transformed through yoni steaming, including not having to get hysterectomies, not having to go through surgeries, go check out my receipts highlight on Instagram. I came online in my crone years, and so I came online to create, and I choose what I consume. Yes, God. It's very, very, very important. It's important. And it's also important to treat yourself like you are somebody that you love. It's important to treat yourself like you are a newborn baby that you love, okay? You would not be critical towards a newborn baby. You would not be talking down to a newborn baby. You would not be consuming certain things as a baby. You would not be giving a baby poison, right? So why would you do that with yourself? Right? So we have to start to recognize that we are responsible for treating ourselves like we are truly somebody that we love. We are truly somebody that we respect. We are truly someone that we honor and appreciate. And really be willing to do the hard work of taking inventory of how we interact with ourselves on a daily basis. Because life is mirroring back to us how we treat ourselves. There is a relationship that's happening with us and us. Okay? There is a dialogue, as you all know, there's a dialogue happening in our mind all day long about life, all right? When somebody cuts you off in traffic, what are you saying? When somebody does something to annoy you, what are you saying, right? So we have to be willing to really take inventory of that relationship that's happening within us and identify points that may need some shifting, may need some transformation. Do I look in the mirror and immediately, tell myself how beautiful and how amazing and how fantastic I am? Or do I look in the mirror and immediately start judging and criticizing myself? Right? This is what our true identity is. Our identity is about how do we interact with ourselves? How do we perceive ourselves? And so when you can begin to perceive yourselves as someone you love, when you begin to perceive yourself as someone who is one with God, right? You begin to allow those things to fall away that are not in alignment with that. Whether it be habits, whether it be perspectives, whether it be, how you talk to yourself. And that's what we do inside the Quantum Prayer Circle is I offer support and guidance to how we're speaking to ourselves. How are we showing up? How are we responding when we feel triggered? All right. How are we able to regulate our nervous systems? And so this retreat is going to be really just us walking through that together in a new place, right? In a tropical place, in a different, we're completely shifting timelines. We are completely going somewhere completely new, and we are coming together. And also the power of collective assumption, the power of collective imagination is so powerful. We did a collective assumption session this past Sunday in the Quantum Prayer Circle. And when I tell you literally 2 days later, people were starting to see the manifestations come to pass that we had imagined for each other. It was incredible. Yes, God. So I love you all. I hope everyone got something great out of this conversation. I hope to see you at the retreat. You know what it is? It's this damn cold. I'm starting to learn my triggers. Yes, triggers are so important to learn. They're very important to learn, and you learn them through mindfulness. You learn them through awareness, right? You learn them through your nervous system. Because when something triggers you, your nervous system goes into that fight or flight mode, or sometimes fawn mode, which is overly people pleasing, over trying to sacrifice, trying to over kind to fill in the space. All right. Versus allowing, because triggers are teachers. Triggers are teaching us something. When we have a negative emotion about something, you can just simply correlate it to a GPS. Oh, I turned the wrong way. All right. I turned the wrong way. Let me get back on course. Someone said, I isolate. Yeah. And it's okay to isolate. It's okay to isolate to regulate yourself if that's what you need to do. Yes, anxiety is a part of the trigger. Yeah. But allowing yourself to use your triggers view them as information, important and valuable information. Happy Saturday morning. Yes, God. Happy Saturday morning. All right. Allow yourself to view your triggers as wisdom, as showing you an area where you are thinking about something in a way that is not serving you. Because a trigger is just your perception. I am going to your bio to look at the retreat info. Yes, God. Yes, please. It's amazing. Like I said, right now you only need to put down a 25% deposit. You can make payments interest-free until August. There is early bird pricing right now. So if you are interested, please go ahead. We already had almost half of the slots already booked in. So jump on it. And we're going to have fun, y'all. Like, I know I come up here and I do my talking head stuff and I'm very like, oh, this is energy and da-da, but I'm a goofball. Like, I like to have fun. Okay. We have fun. Diana was not giving her like authentic. We're goofy. Okay. We have a lot of fun. We like to dance. We like to make up songs. We like to really laugh and just have a really good time. So this retreat is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's all my ex's family and him. They trigger me bad. Some I love dearly. Yeah. And so it's okay to ask the question, how is this serving me? How is this serving me? All right. I have the same thing and I have to work on forgiveness too with my ex as well. And forgiveness is very important because unforgiveness, resentment can begin to block things from you energetically. And so you don't want to give nobody power to block nothing from you. Not that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to really understand that whoever you are not forgiving, you are giving power to. You are holding on to a connection with that person. And it takes time sometimes, and it takes intentionality. You know, it takes being willing to say, you know what? I'm going to let this go, not for them, not because I'm condoning it, but because it's not worth it for me. And inside the Quantum Prayer Circle, I actually have a course on forgiveness and ways that you can do it practically. I also have a 7-day identity reset. And yeah, it's amazing. You wake up to a daily new prayer every morning. There's a weekly self-concept rampage. And I think that's what I'll take us out on right now is the weekly self-concept rampage we can listen to. But this is how we should be speaking to ourselves. My phone is dead, so let me pull it up on my computer love. I'm one of those people that when I'm having conversations, I always bring it back to a song lyric. Are y'all like that too? Because I am. Okay, let's go into my videos because it's unlisted, so I can't see it on the public page. Okay, so let's listen to the self-concept rampage. And this is just an example of how you should be speaking to yourself. Inside the Quantum Prayer Circle, the links to all of this is there. You can play them on repeat. I'm excited to meet with them at noon. I have some updates, and I know they have some updates for me. It's a really, really good time. So I'm going to play this, and then we're gonna peace out, y'all. Okay. Hold on. Where's my volume at? It's not working. Okay.
I love that opportunity.
Hold on.
I love that my life feels expansive and calm at the same time. I love that my life feels expansive and calm at the same time. I love that opportunities move toward me without pressure or urgency.
Thank you, God.
I love that I am trusted in rooms that matter and respected for how I think, how I speak, and how I lead. I love that my work creates freedom, not just for me, but for the people that are connected to me.
Yes, God.
I love that I move through my days feeling grounded, present, and deeply supported. I love that my career unfolds with ease and intelligence. I love that conversations flow naturally and result in recognition, praise, and tangible rewards. I love that my value is obvious and my impact is felt. I love that my work improves environments, strengthens systems, and leaves people better than I found them. I love that I am generously compensated for being exactly who I am. I love that my home is a place of peace. I love that my body relaxes when I walk through the door. I love that I feel safe, respected, appreciated, and deeply loved. I love that laughter and warmth live in my home. I love that the people I love enjoy being together and feel seen and supported in my presence. I love that I move through the world protected and guided. I love that tension has left my body and my nervous system now has a default of safety. I love that I prioritize peace. I love that I care for myself with devotion. I love that love feels natural, reciprocal, and deeply aligned. I love that I am supported in my work and celebrated. I love that I am recognized for my brilliance and valued for my perspective. I love that exchanges are easy, respectful, and mutually beneficial. I love that my success creates pride instead of pressure. I love that I travel, rest, and enjoy beautiful experiences, knowing that I've earned them without strain. I love that my life feels expansive and calm at the same time. I love that opportunities move toward me without pressure or urgency. I love that I am trusted in rooms that matter.
Thank y'all for joining me. Would love to see you on the retreat. Would love to see you in the prayer circle. We will chat again soon. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful rest of your Saturday. Bye.